Alright then guys, welcome back to another video of the channel. Today I'm going to do my score predictions for the championship for this weekend. Obviously the first game of the weekend kicks off Friday night, Leeds versus Derby. Obviously going into it, Leeds are sat top of the table while Derby sat 6th. Leeds have got about 10 injuries in the squad, I believe. I might be wrong. And obviously we're without one of our key players, Harry Wilson, by the looks of it. So it's not too good. Obviously we are into the transfer window, so there could be more transfers yet, but who knows. And we go into it after drawing Southampton in the FA Cup. Leeds go into it after getting knocked out by QPR. Not like that'll have much effect on the game. But Leeds, overall, they go into it on a bit of bad form in the league. We go into it on an average form. So who knows? Obviously, for home game of the season, it was our first home game. We lost 4-1 to Leeds at home. But for this one, I'm saying a 2-1 Derby win. With the amount of injuries that Leeds have, I just think that we'll go there and get the result that we need. You know, it's an important game. It's the top 6. Two of the top 6 teams, and it's a game that both sides need to be getting the win, really. But I do think Derby will win this 2-1. Then, moving on to Saturday's fixtures, obviously Birmingham versus Middlesbrough, another game that's close. Borough just being inside of the playoffs, and Birmingham being just outside. I've said a 1-1 draw for this one. Obviously, Birmingham aren't going to want to lose this game, as they are looking to obviously push for the playoffs. So I think they'll get a draw. I think Borough will go there and get a draw, to be fair. So that's what I've said for that one. Then Brentford versus Stoke. I've said a 2-1 Stoke win. You know, straight away, what you got to think is new manager effect. That always kicks in. With Gary Rowett being sacked, I just think that it's going to get the players' heads up. Well, that's what you'd think anyway. But I've said a 2-1 Stoke win for that. I do think they'll win that. Bristol versus Bolton's the next game, and I've said a 4-0 Bristol City win. Obviously, it's at Bristol City's ground, and Bolton, they don't go into it good at all. Obviously, they're having all sorts of problems with the club, wages and all that sort of bother, so they're not going into it in the best. They're in a relegation zone. Obviously, Bristol City started off the season slow, but are now looking to, push for playoffs probably. Bolton lost 6-0, I think it were told. So I just think that it's going to go from bad to worse for them, to be fair. Bristol City have got a good signing. Obviously signing Casey Palmer. They've got a good side in there. They've got Jamie Patterson. They've got Andy Vyman. So they have got a strong side. And I think that it's just going to be a goal fest for them, really. Then moving on to the next game, Hull versus Sheffield Wednesday. Obviously Hull, they're doing really well now. They have picked up form really well, to say what they were doing. You know, there's always a dark horse that round December time ends up making the playoffs, and this could be them this season. I've said a 1-1 draw against Sheffield Wednesday. Obviously, it's a bit of a local derby for them. I think Sheffield Wednesday will be able to go there and get a point, so I've said a 1-1 draw. Then the next game is Ipswich versus Rotherham. Obviously, that is a relegation battle game. It's at Ipswich ground. Obviously, Rotherham are really not very good away from home. Ipswich, they've just been poor this season altogether, to be fair. But for this game, I've said a 1-0 Ipswich win. You know, they need to start getting the results if they are to avoid the drop. So that's what I've said for that game. And then Preston versus Swansea. I've said a 3-1 Swansea win. Obviously, Swansea are a side that's come down from the Premier League this year, and you know they want to really be looking at bouncing back up. Whether or not they do is a different opinion. Preston really started off the season quite badly, to be fair, but they are starting to turn it around now. But I've said a 3-1 Swansea win for that game. I do think Swansea will go there and get a result. Next game is Reading versus Nottingham Forest. Obviously, Forest are a good side this year. They've got a good manager. Obviously, they had a bit of a poor form type thing. Obviously, losing a couple of games or drawing or whatever to QPR, etc., Preston. But I think they're going to beat Reading in this game 2-0. Obviously, Reading are roundabout for the relegation battle. Forest looking to get into the playoffs and fighting for promotion. So I said a 2-0 Forest win for that one. And then Sheffield United versus QPR. I've said a 2-2 draw. Obviously, both sides are looking to fight for the playoffs. Well, no, Sheffield United are in the playoffs. QPR are looking to fight for them. Both good sides. Both got good managers. If it were the start of the season, I'd have said a 4-0 Sheffield United win. You know, QPR started off really poorly, losing 7-0 to West Brom. But I'm going to say a 2-2. I think QPR will be able to go there and get a result, to be fair. And then the next game, West Brom versus Norwich. Obviously, another game that is inside of that top 6. Norwich being second, and I'm not sure where West Brom are without looking at the table. But I think that West Brom will win this game. Obviously, it's at West Brom. Norwich picking up a little bit of bad form, not too bad, but they can still, sort it. Obviously, Norwich want to be pushing for that top space, but I think West Brom are going to win. I think West Brom are going to be a team that does make the automatic. So I'm going to say 2-1 West Brom win. Then Wigan versus Villa. Obviously, Wigan had a really good home form, but it's just gone to pot now. And I've said 3-0 to Villa away win. I just think that Villa, they're another side that's fighting for playoffs and promotion. So this is a game where they need to be picking up 3 points out of all of them, make it a bit easier for when they do face the top sides. So I've said a 3-0 win for that. And then the last game of the weekend comes of R5 kickoff on Saturday, Millwall versus Blackburn. I've said a 0-0 draw for this one. I just think that it's going to be one of them boring games, to be fair. I think Blackburn will be able to go there and get a draw. Obviously, Den is not an hard place to go and get... Well, not an easy place to go and get a win. So, yeah, I've said a 0-0 draw for that one. But, yeah, thank you for watching, guys. Make sure you do like and subscribe and comment your score predictions below. Yeah, thank you for watching, guys. And make sure you subscribe.